Greetings and welcome to another episode of Pop's Collection. I'm Ron Tweedy, joining me is Pops, and today we're going to be talking about the first episode of Disney Plus's Moon Knight.
Welcome, everybody. Glad you're here with us. Yes, as a matter of fact, I did have a couple of friends ask me if I had seen that. I am going to have to say, after I had an impression, but just today, I saw a commercial for it.
Okay.
And the commercial for it was, to me, a lot better than the episode. They chose to show, I don't know how many episodes they took excerpts from, but, my first impression, basically, it is probably this whole season, it's only 6 episodes, so they're probably going to take all that time to develop the character himself. This is the 6th television series in the MCU.
Okay.
So I'm guessing this is somehow all part of Phase 4 then. I'm guessing.
Sure.
I don't know, but it is considered part of the MCU. So.
Yep.
Your first impression?
It was fine. It's a story that's not too coherent, which I think is on purpose, but I don't know if I like that or not. I like the angle with the talking about the Egyptian pantheon of gods. You know, we've done the Norse gods, we've done I think a little bit of Greek gods some other places, and so Egyptian gods seems like an interesting direction to go. So
yes. I think I wrote down the name of the god that he is supposed to, I think, portray or be part of it, and it's a guide for him, but I somehow don't seem to, I thought I had it on my notes, but I guess I don't.
Okay.
Anyways, so we get Stephen Grant with a V, Oscar Isaac, a well-versed comic book star. Has done many comic book things, oddball comic things. So this fits right in. He was even a voice in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Okay.
And he's going to be part of that also.
Okay.
In the second Spider-Verse coming up.
Mm-hmm.
What I did think was interesting, and I don't know if you could tell, you might have to listen. And for our listeners, this is just something that they might take a listen to. His different characters, he portrays them with different accents. I don't know if you noticed that.
Well, there's only 2, so that I heard.
Well, at this particular time,
right?
There's only 2, but if you read anything about the comic itself, he's a lot of different characters in the comic book, and somewhat different too, because in the comic book, Stephen Grant is a billionaire businessman, not somebody that works at the museum gift shop,
Yeah.
So, but I thought it was kind of cool, like you said, the Egyptian history part of it, where he would throw in this or throw in that. I thought that was really cool. I just wasn't sure how the name fit in, the episode name fit in to that. There was just that one little thing with the goldfish, and I didn't really see where that did anything with it, but
what was the name of the episode? I forget.
Something, the wrong goldfish or something like that, or sorry, I didn't take really good notes because I wanted this to be first impression based on our stuff. I didn't really look at it too much. I did think that based on the comic, I think they're saying that he had a dissociative identity disorder,
Mm-hmm.
but somehow I think that gets misconstrued with schizophrenia sometimes.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know really what much is the difference between the two, but
Yeah.
it was definitely out there. And so much so, your mom really had a lot of trouble following it. But
Mm-hmm.
I did convince her to watch the second episode.
Yeah.
I
The,
did find that it was a little violent.
yeah. So the episode is called "The Goldfish Problem," and
That's it.
it's a. I think it's a TV trope where you have an episode where a the characters kind of are missing time somehow, and so it's kind of the same thing that's happening with this character. So, for instance, I think there was an episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation where they were caught in a time loop, and they were kind of figured out that they were kept on crashing with this other ship, and then they had to break the time loop somehow. So that's I guess an example of the goldfish problem trope in TV.
Uh, okay, yeah, I guess I could go with that. I mean, we did have the scene where he went back to the pet shop and said that the goldfish grew
Right.
an extra fin.
Right.
So, not knowing uh, anything about goldfish anatomy, I don't know what that's all about. But
Well, I guess the inference was that he was at the place and he bought a new goldfish. That was the inference.
okay, well, how did you think? I mean, the beginning of it. Let's just. We really don't have to go into too many details here, but I thought it was interesting that it starts that he's in his bed
Mm-hmm.
and he's kind of not. He's he. I don't know how you would put it. He puts himself in a position where he's not really chained to his bed,
Yeah.
but he has something to try to keep him in bed.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to me that if he thought he suffered from sleepwalking, that he would put those things in place. Tape over the door to make sure he didn't go out the door. Train, tethered to his bed, putting sand around the edge of the bed to see if he moved while he was asleep. But
Right, but he did not keep himself there or lock himself in. And we got the him sleeping. Then all of a sudden he was somewhere else.
mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
And that's where we got Ethan Hawke,
Mm-hmm.
which I guess we're gonna have to wait through the episodes and see how all of this stuff develops.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of the tempo of the episode?
Well, I think it's supposed to be on purpose a disorienting way because from our perspective, the audience perspective, we're seeing Stephen Grant's experience, and so obviously when he when Mark Spector takes over, we don't see that part until like the very, very, very end. So,
Right, of this episode, we don't get Mark Spector until the very end. And what did you think of the costume?
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought that that in itself made me say, okay, I think I would like to watch more of this.
Sure.
Based on that solely.
Yeah.
I think that for our listeners, if you plan to watch it, I would suggest making sure that if you do have a cup of coffee, get a straw and put it in your mouth so that you can watch, because if you turn your eyes, you might miss something. And I think it's one of those types of shows that you really got to watch it from beginning to end, I think. Because there's so many different things going on. He's here, he's there, he's doing this, he's doing that.
Mm-hmm.
He goes to the restaurant and he's 2 days late. So what happened to that time,
Yeah.
And so, we're only getting bits and pieces of the story as we're going now. So I don't know how that's going to translate through the rest of the show, but like I said, I am looking forward to the next episode to see how that comes out.
Okay.
And the wolf character, that is kind of an Egyptian thing too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That so I think they're playing it real well. So Mark Spector is a mercenary, right? Or was a mercenary.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he somehow, I'm thinking they said that when it was explained in the comics, I think he's the one that had the dissociative identity disorder.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we'll take a look. Maybe hopefully on the wrap up, I'll see if we can, I guess, scrounge up some of the comics. We can talk a little bit about that because the first appearance, it was not any of this stuff. It was he was he went into a werewolf. He was introduced in a werewolf comic, so he had silver weapons and whatnot to defeat werewolves. So that's where Moon Knight originally came from. So come a long way since then.
Oh yes, yeah. See, that's what we just got Stephen Grant and we got Mark Spector basically, and Moon Knight. We didn't get Mr. Knight, who is another one of the characters in the comic, and like you said, the werewolf. There's quite a few different characters that come up that I guess we'll have them later on. I don't know. We'll see how that works out.
Right.
I'm just hoping that they're going to be able to tell this story in 6 episodes, and I guess we'll see if there'll be a season 2 or not, depending upon how it goes.
Yeah.
But are you psyched about watching it again?
I'm kind of meh about it right now. We'll see.
You're mad.
Meh. MEH.
Oh yeah, just yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it because it's a Marvel thing.
Right.
But the only thing that, like I said, that show's between 40 and 50 minutes.
Right.
And the only thing that really juiced me up, was the seeing Moon Knight at the end fighting the wolf.
Yeah.
That was the only thing that, okay, I'm going to watch this again. I mean, the other scenes where Mark takes over for Steven, and then like all of a sudden it's just like a real quick thing, So
yeah,
no big deal for me.
Yeah.
But I am going to say especially if you're a Marvel fan, I'd say watch it, definitely.
Okay.
All right. Anything else you want to discuss, or?
Maybe after that, when we do the wrap up, I'll have more to discuss because I think there is some interesting thematic elements with, particularly with Egyptian mythology and stuff. But we can definitely save that for the conclusion of.
Okay, that would be good because I really want to do a little bit more research. And like I said, I had thought that I had written some things down, and somehow I didn't. So
yeah.
Let's hope that we can get things done.
Okay.
All right, good. Then it's a watch for me if you're a Marvel fan. If you're a DC fan, give it a couple episodes and decide for yourself after that. But
okay,
that's it for me.
All right, me too. All right, thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you next week with something else. And until then, stay tuned. Goodbye and God bless.
Goodbye, God bless, and tell your friends.